What is up, everybody? I hope you're doing well, and today I'm bringing you 5 rifle mods that you need in your Fallout 4 load order. Alright, so first up we have the Zenit Re Redux AK-74, AK-12, and AKM series by SpongeBob Slavic Pants. And this is a fantastic AK mod. I've tried a few different ones, and though most of them are decent on the Nexus, this one has to be my personal favorite because of the attention to detail, the amount of different customization options it has, its performance, their animations and reload all look really good. They're realistic. I really like them. One of the biggest things for me on this AK variant that he does is the reload functions much more realistically than a lot of the other AK mods I've seen on the Nexus, which is not a big deal, but just that little extra step it does in making it realistic really sells it for me. So this is the stock one here. And then here is one I put together to my liking, just showing you the level of changes you can make to it. Very pretty, as you can see, very well done. The lighting's a little bit weird just because I have some odd stuff going on with my weather mod currently. It's usually a very dark, gloomy look, and I tried to brighten it up for the sake of this video, so things might look a little bit odd as far as lighting goes, but not to worry. So now we'll go ahead and show these off to you. So as you can see, it looks like a clean AK. Decent iron sights, pretty realistic looking all the way across. Very nice firing sounds. I really like the way that's done. And as you can see, the reload animation is really clean, really accurate. I really like the way he did that on this one. It just looks fantastic. I think the gun sounds good. It feels good. And then as you can see, it also functions very well in third person. The way the bolt chamber there, all that bounces with each shot. I really like how that was done. And then we'll go ahead and show you the one I put together, which has a foregrip. And as you can see, the hand animation actually shows him holding the foregrip. It's one problem with some mods I found is things such as foregrips, the way the hand is positioned on the weapon will not change. You will simply have a foregrip sticking through the hand, and SpongeBob Slavic Pants really went above and beyond here, actually changing the way the hand holds the weapon. And as you can see, there's a different bolt on this one, but it looks really nice. The rail is different for putting scopes on, and it also changed the bolt carrier there. But it has the same nice reload, same really nice gun sounds. The sights all look very good. I've tried most of the different sights you can put on this thing, and I really like them. This is one of my favorite AK mods. I really like the way this one worked out, and it's probably one of the best AK mods on the Nexus. This is my personal favorite. Hopefully you guys like this one. So here we have the G43, or the Gewehr 43 by Leader 100. This is a World War II era weapon, semi-automatic rifle. And this thing looks fantastic. As you can see, it's very clean. The detail in the woodwork and even in the steel parts is very well done. This is a very well textured weapon. I really like the look of this. And for me, it is replaced or used instead of all of the base game hunting rifles. I really like this thing. It shoots the 308 in game, so you don't have to get any extra mods for different ammos or do anything funky. It is just a download and drop into the game, and it is fantastic. The only downside with it is it doesn't have a ton of customization, which is fairly realistic due to, you know, when the weapon was in service. But you can change the receiver for changes in damage. You have 3 different barrel lengths. You have some recoloring and slight changes to the stock so that you can get it more to your liking. You can change the magazine size, and then there is a couple different sight options, and then a couple different muzzle options. And here we'll go ahead and show you that one in game. So as you can see, it still looks perfectly clean, wonderful. I really like the sights on this thing. I don't know if it's hard to see on screen there, but they're very nice, very pinpoint accurate. And as you can see, it sounds good. The reload is really clean. I love the way the reload is done. I just think it's a very fantastically made weapon. I really like this one. I use it instead of the hunting rifles throughout my playthroughs, and I've had a great time with this. It's just a blast. It feels great. A lot of fun to use. So I highly recommend this one. And next up in the third place, we have the QBZ 191 by CHN Ghost Delta, and this thing is awesome. I was using this thing for, I want to say, most of one of my playthroughs and testing my collection on Nexus, but this thing is so much fun. I really love the way this was done. It has a decent amount of customization. As usual, it has the receivers for changing automatic and semi, and then the different levels of damage. You've got an upper rail, the lower rail, left and a right, so you can place lasers, flashlights, whatever you'd like. There's some different stocks for it, and then there's several different barrel options, which I'll show you the version I've created. I believe you can also change the caliber for what it shoots. You got the pistol grip you can change, and then, of course, the different sights, which it has quite a few, and I've actually liked quite a few different of the sights available for it, but it sounds good and feels good, and we'll go ahead and show that one off to you here. So here is the absolute stock version. As you can see, it is held very well. It's nicely animated. The sights are a little bit funky and block off a little bit of the screen, but there's a ton of options for it, so if you're not a fan of the irons, you can change it to whatever you please. Alright, so we'll go ahead and show you firing it here. I love the sound. I think the bullet crack and sound for it is just fantastic. I really like the way this one's done. The recoil looks really nice. As you can see, this reload is super well animated. I love the way he checks the bolt, makes sure it's empty, changes, and then hits the bolt assist to close. I really like this weapon. I love the reload animation. It's just fantastically done. I can't stress how nice this thing looks and feels. I just love it. I think it is great. And one more time. Just wonderful. And then we'll go ahead and show you the one I put together, which is a little different, with a scope, a foregrip, a different muzzle, a different stock and pistol grip. Just fully changed. As you can see, it's a whole new weapon. As you can see, once again, the hand animation is changed to hold it the actual foregrip instead of it just clipping through the hand, so I really like that. Props for that. The sights are well done. This is just a fantastic gun. I love this one so much. I love the smoothness of the recoil. It just feels like such a good weapon, and it feels so realistic in-game, especially combined with a few other mods, such as leaning and some different reverb and ambient noise sounds and bullet crack changes and whatnot, but this thing is just awesome. I love this weapon, and I think it belongs in just about everybody's load order. Alright, and in our second spot, we have the HK G43 by Leader 100 again. And this thing is awesome. I've been a big fan of the G3 series rifles for a long time in many different games. It's just been one of my favorite platforms. I love the way it looks. I think it's super clean. And this one is fantastically recreated. The way it looks, the coloring, the detail work on the steel, which I'm not sure how much of that you can see. I'll try and zoom in a little bit here. But the way some of the metal's even like rubbed off and a little worn, but this thing is just awesome. It is so well recreated, and all maximum props for this. This thing is just awesome. And there's a decent amount of customization. You can make it auto and semi-auto through the receivers. You can change the stock up a little bit. There's a few different grips for it, not a whole lot of change there. You can change to multiple different hand guards, which has some variety that I really like. There's a few different barrel lengths, some muzzles, a decent amount of sights you can choose for it, quite a few different ones actually, and then a few different magazine sizes, although the magazine doesn't change all that much, but this thing is just awesome. And if you've played Fallout 3 and remember the R91 assault rifle in that, this would be the real-world counterpart to that. For me at least, I feel like it fits in canonically with the Fallout lore, because this is literally just the real-world version of the R91, and looking even nicer, if I do say so myself. And so for me, I think this is a fantastic one to use instead of the in-game assault rifle, that funky-looking World War I mounted water-cooled turret thing. I can't stand it, and I love having this instead of that. So we'll go ahead and show that to you. As before, super clean. I love the animation for drawing the weapon. The sights are fairly clear and nice as well. As you can see, it's a little heavier on the recoil, which makes perfect sense. It is shooting a 308, which is more of a rifle or a longer range round. So I think this is really cool that there's actually a decent amount of recoil. And I love this reload animation. This has to be probably within my top 2 or 3 reload animations I've seen in getting weapon mods. I love it. And it does have a alternate reload animation, which is only slightly different, but you do get to kind of choose which way you want him to reload it, and I really like the customizability there. I'll give it one more time. Super clean, really crisp. I love the sound of it and the firing sounds. And we'll go ahead and show you the one I have put, which is still fairly stock built. As you can see, I do have a different foregrip, and I do believe I've made mine automatic. Yeah, as you can see, it's fairly bouncy, different foregrip, but it looks wonderful. I do prefer the reload that I have chosen on this one over the other one, but I love the feel of this gun. It's a little harder to aim, but it hits really hard, shoots a little slower. It just looks and feels fantastic. Third-person reload is included, and it looks great as well, though it's a little hard to see in third person. But this thing is awesome. This thing easily deserves the second place spot in this list, and it is fantastic, and you should definitely try this one out. And in our first place spot for today, we have the MK18 by FX0X01, and this thing is outstanding. This is one of the best recreations of the M4 platform that I have seen on the Nexus. And this is the one I have in every single load order, in every single collection I've played and do. I always make sure I have this thing in there because it is that fantastic. And all of FXO's mods seem to have a small quest you can choose to do with them. So when you first load up the game after downloading these mods, there will be a pop-up that lets you either cheat and get the weapon immediately, start the quest for the weapon immediately, or properly level list it and take the quest at, I want to say it's level 25. And the quests are kind of fun for these. All of the weapons by this modder are awesome. They're very simple. It will give you a quest marker and give you a little quest that tells you to go claim this weapon from a certain place, and usually they're either a little bit hard to get to, or there'll be enemies surrounding it, a place you have to clear out, you know, very mini dungeon, or just out in the world for you to claim with, or at least for me, mobs of zombies surrounding it. So I do enjoy the little bit of a fetch quest involved with getting these, though you can also choose to make it immediately craftable at the chem bench. And then once you've acquired the weapon by whatever means, you can choose whether or not you'd like to have it level listed at traders and whatnot. But I think it's just a little extra fun to these to be able to do the quest. And there's a lot of choices here. You can change the receiver per usual. There's a ton of different handguards, a bunch of different stocks, multiple pistol grips, several charging handles, many different sights to choose from, quite a few different muzzles as well, and then way more than usual magazine choices with alternate reloads, so you can choose which version of the reloads you like better. And more choice is always a win in my eyes, so this thing is just awesome. So we'll go ahead and get into showing you that here. And it's pretty much stock state. When you make them, it does randomly put different attachments on it, at least it does for me. So I kind of tried to strip it down and make it as basic as possible for this. As you can see, the gun sounds good, the recoil is smooth, has a good rate of fire. The reload is awesome. I really like the reload. It's a very simple, very clean, very COD style reload, but it works great. It doesn't obstruct your view. It's very smooth, and I love the sounds of it. They're very crisp. I just really like the way this one was handled. And then we'll go ahead and show you the one I have put together, which would be this guy here. As you can see, I've got a foregrip. Once again, kind of a running theme. I appreciate when they have properly hand-animated foregrips so that you actually hold them. And I've got a laser on top. I've got a holographic scope on top. As you can see, buttery smooth. And then this is the alternate reload where he brings up the replacement magazine and then changes them out. Though it isn't much different, I do slightly prefer this reload. As you can see, super clean. feels great. I mean, this thing is awesome. You can build it however you want. You can put longer barrels on it, make it semi-automatic, use it as a DMR. You can build it, you know, shorter barrel, make it more of a CQB SMG. The lasers function and let you choose whether or not you just want there to be that beam, or if you want the beam and then a dot hovering on screen. And there's just a lot of choice with this weapon. And one thing I love more than almost anything else is the ability to choose a lot of things. I love customization. I love having the freedom of choice. And this gun is the embodiment of freedom of choice. You can do whatever you like with it, and it is fantastic. So that does it for today's video. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like these weapon mods, and I hope you give them a try and support the creators, because I think these mods are fantastic. I love each and every one of these weapons, and they all make it into almost every single playthrough at some point or another, and they are just great. And the links to all these mods will be in the description, so you can go get these and try them out for yourself. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.